We have a special guest today, Michael Hiatt with Sotheby's International Realty, a third-generation Angelino, and his family, no stranger to the entertainment and real estate space. And Michael, he's carried the tradition on for over 30 years. And as a global luxury leader, he's been serving clients with their residential, real estate, home, and income property needs, as well as their goals. And as he says, no local, reach global. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Amanda, thank you for having me on this podcast.
Absolutely. And I hope, that we can just dive in and tell our listeners some more about yourself and what you do.
Well, as Amanda, you said, I'm in residential luxury real estate. Luxury is a big term because it covers a lot of areas. But
Right.
Los Angeles is a global story. And I'm very blessed and very passionate about the city I've really grown up in and I've seen evolve into a world-class metropolitan city. So selling real estate, buying real estate, and working with a company like Sotheby's International Realty, this is a global platform. So I'm able to reach people on a local level, a national level, and a global level. And to be able to, the passion of that comes because I'm able to talk about a city and a lifestyle that I've cherished, that I've grown up with, that I've loved, that I want to bring to my clients and people I do business with and friends and family. I have an interesting background because as you said, I'm a native here. I've been in residential real estate for about 17 years, not all of it with Sotheby's. That was part of a growth process. But I am at what I consider clearly one of the global brands and global leaders in residential real estate, as well as in lifestyle and art and antiques and in wines and cars. We are a lifestyles company, Sotheby's International Realty. But what the point I'm trying to make is that I also, before being in real estate, I was in entertainment marketing, television, and home entertainment marketing globally. And before that, I was in production. And I look back at my career of 30 plus years, and I've always been in the same business. I'm in the people business, I'm in the solutions business, and most of all, I'm in the experiential business. And real estate, to me, is one of the biggest, most transformative experiences that one can give to somebody and one can participate with. And so the fact that I'm able to participate with my clients in buying and selling real estate and residential real estate income makes my career just a blessing and a joy to do every day. There are certainly challenges. It's a highly competitive business, but the rewards, the emotional rewards and the financial rewards make it a business that I am quite passionate about and a career that I hopefully continue to practice well to my years.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, for those listening, if you want to know about LA, reach out to Michael. He has all the inside scoop from the west side to downtown, all the nuggets and the specialty, even how the houses were developed, to some of the charm that comes into the city of Los Angeles. And I also, just to piggyback on your experience, I love this idea that, buying a home or buying an income property, it's all an experience, and you're on this journey with people. And maybe you can share a little bit about, has it been consistent like that, or has that kind of changed over time? Have you shifted through for it to be an experiential business for you?
Well, the journey has been makes the experience more joyful. As work, you have to learn your skills. That's, there's always the growing pains of growth. and of your journey. So, but I will tell you from pretty much the get-go, because I changed careers. You know, I changed careers really like in my 40s. I mean, I have successful business. I've been a producer, a director, you know, home entertainment. When I got involved with home entertainment, it was something called, you're way too young, Amanda. It was called home video. You used to have cassettes. But home entertainment became one of the leading revenue generators for these big companies like Fox. I've worked for Fox. I've worked for Warner Brothers. I've worked for Universal. So to make a shift like that,
Absolutely.
I use the word shift, by the way.
Yeah.
To make that kind of shift. Now that's that 180-degree shift that you and I started to talk about. And you and I hope in this 15 minutes can cover a few things that are really, really important, and that why I really wanted to be on the podcast with you. But to make that shift, early on, I realized that shift was the right shift for me. I realized that what I was doing, you know, in residential real estate was really my calling throughout the whole process of my journey through entertainment. You know, and it's just odd that at the, you know, you cut to 15 years later, and my business is about storytelling on video. Well, that's what I did.
Right.
That's what I did in my 20s. Okay, I used to produce television shows and tell stories on, television, network television. So anyway, it's been quite a journey, quite a discovery, and it's realized. It's realized, and it's still in process at a very high level and a very high emotional satisfactory level. So I couldn't be more happy where I am in my life at this stage of my life. And obviously, you know, all the years we're counting up, you're pinpointing. I'm not exactly young. I mean, I'm towards, certainly towards past the midlife. Let's just say past the midlife level.
Right,
but,
right.
Anyway,
I have to say, I'm not going to date myself, but I am old enough to remember cassettes. I remember. But I
just want to say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us.
No, I wanted to tell you one thing, because that was very kind of you to say. If you're looking to understand the complexities and the gems and the jewels and the migrations and the communities throughout Los Angeles, I am truly, truly not only well versed in it, but also very passionate and really will easily and gladly tell you and show you and talk to you and speak with you and interact with you about all of the great history of this city. And there is a great history, and I'm proud to say my family, there's a lot of that history, has contributed a lot of the history. This was in the early 1900s, really a movie town. Today it's a very diverse business and economic center, arguably one of the 5th, 6th largest economies in the world. Certainly California is. So it's pretty interesting to have seen that evolve, in half of my lifetime, and the other half I really became familiar with because it was something I wanted to know. So
I love that, and I'm also intrigued as you're sharing and kind of your background and what you're doing. And you shared you wanted to share a few things. So now I'm interested. What else would you like to bring to the table and talk about? If it be your shifts or what's happened in life, let's go there.
Well, Amanda, had you not asked this question, I was going to take you there. And I'm going to just spend a couple minutes, being real. Okay, I'm real this whole conversation, but I want to tell you and tell whoever listens to this podcast that, Amanda works with me as really a part of my business development and also a business coach and development coach as well. Our sessions together are very spontaneous, okay? They're not scripted in any way. And and an hour with Amanda. And this is the last I'm going to, tout and give you testimonials, but it's all very well deserved, Amanda. We have sessions about an hour in length, and they're very spontaneous. They're very open. You're very open to ideas. You seem to be inspired by ideas and continue to ask the right questions. And by the end of our hour, as I've told you many times, they're very empowering. They're very inspiring. And when you asked me to be on a podcast with you, I thought that was just I absolutely wanted to do it, because I think something, if we can go 10 minutes, you and I together, I think something very special will happen at the end of this 10 minutes. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a rare time that I don't get off the phone with you and just have these moments where your head is exploding. You just have ideas and things that have really been inspired. So that's my testimonial to you. It's very honest to you. And so to continue and to sort of bring you into this space at your highest level, this program is called Shift. I think that's what you call your podcast, is Shift. And I remember that you and I spoke briefly about Shift and what that meant. And then I just told you, because a shift to me represented a 180-degree shift. And I don't believe today, for me, I'm looking for a 180-degree shift. And I think that I questioned you about, why'd you call yourself Shift? Why don't you call yourself New Beginnings, or whatever, And then I decided, well, I'd look up what does shift mean, And it's funny. Do you know what shift, the definition of shift is?
I probably should have looked it up.
Okay. Well, here's the interesting part. Here's the interesting part, because this is where you and I are going to start. It actually is move or cause to move from one place to another, especially over a small distance. And then it says a slight change in position. Okay? So a shift could be a tweak. Okay? A shift doesn't have to be a 180-degree mindset change or a 180-degree direction change, which I thought shift was a very powerful word, and it's being used a lot by people. Now is the time to shift, like you're going to make a huge shift, like you're going to do something completely different. But when you look at shift, Amanda, it's so interesting that you picked that word, because it could be a slight, just a minuscule, a tweak. And that's where I wanted to, that's why I wanted to, looking forward to this conversation with you. Because you have every day, Amanda, yes, you must be open and ready to make those minuscule shifts. But Amanda, as I've said to you, I'm on a path, and COVID took over, and COVID allowed me to go deeper into the same path I'm on. I'm not making a shift in terms of a 180-degree shift. I'm not, post-COVID coming out of, the technology, the technology of real estate and Zooms and conferences. That technology has been around for 5 years. It's the adaptation. I'm ready for the adaptation. But in terms of how our business will change and how our business becomes more integral to buying, selling homes, the experience, et cetera, which I discussed with you, that's what's so inspiring today. That's what's so empowering. That's the slight shift that, can be a monumental way we practice and execute and close and complete our business and our relationship with our clients.
Yeah. Well,
does any of that make sense?
Words, yeah. And words I can't even say thank you enough. That means the world, and it's been such a pleasure to work with you. And I always say it's probably one of the funnest hours I never know what's coming.
Well, I can only tell you, Amanda, I really believe, Amanda, the experiences you have with me is the experiences you have with every one of your clients. And they are very lucky to participate with you in that interchange, 100%.
Yeah. I have a big smile and lots of gratitude. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing that. And I also really, really, like, my heart is just like, I really appreciate you taking that time to look into what does a shift mean, because it does have, you know, I was looking at, you know, entrepreneurs, and you've been on your journey and you've, you know, reached high success, and then things happen, and we're all in our businesses at different levels. We all started at one place and we're all where we are now, and we've all taken those either big shifts, like you did a 180. You went from the entertainment industry and had to go, whoa, I'm going to do this. But it all somehow aligned. But I think that's so great that you also saw that the shifts can be every day. They can be multiple times. And we all have these gifts inside of us to do incredible things. And sometimes we don't know till we shift just a little bit to take hold of that, or work with somebody, or join a company, or whatever that might be, to get us on our path to doing what we love. And I love that you love what you do, because there's a lot of people that really wish they did what they loved. And you finding that is just really fun to hear as well.
People should love what they do every day. You know, find what that passion is. Find what that connection is. Do what it takes to do to achieve what you want to achieve. You know, to have that clarity of your goal, of your passion, you know, what you'd like to do. There's no reason that you're not doing what you like to do.
Absolutely. And I have to pull this one up as well, because I know you and we've worked together, but there's also a special sidekick you have in your business. Do you want to tell them about your sidekick?
I do have, you know, I have a very, a wonderful dog that, you know, that I love, that, you know, that I do promote on Instagram. As I promote, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. I have my own 2 sites, and I actually have a dog who has an Instagram site called Dog Realtor. I'm Hiatt Homes. And by the way, all of this, what I just told you, is a result of the work that I've done with you, Amanda. So again, my social media and the opportunities to create a very robust and honest and genuine social media network is really a result of the work that I've been doing with you, Amanda.
Yeah, well, for those
this is the Amanda hour.
YouTube. I know. Well, it's the Michael hour too, but I love. Go check out Michael's YouTube channel. He's got a cute video on there with little Gracie. You're gonna love it. It's a throwback to the old school. It's gonna make you laugh. You're gonna giggle, and you're gonna want to meet Michael, because that's the kind of person you're gonna get to work with. Somebody that really cares and really there, and obviously loving what they do is really great. So check all of his stuff out, and check out and follow also Dog Realtor, as well as Michael Hiatt Homes. But before we get off here,
my dog and I have actually, I just want to say that my dog and I have fallen out of a 1930s romantic comedy. So, you know, that'll help you define, you know, and she loves, I'm going to post my new posting, is her watching Bringing Up Baby with Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn. She's a real fan of Asta the dog. So, you know, that's when, that was sort of just after Rin Tin Tin and before Lassie became common television and movie personalities. So it was Asta.
Super fun, super fun. Well, I mean, talking
we have
about,
fun, right?
You know, I know, of course. I mean, anything is possible, and having a good time and getting things done is always number one. And I love, because you do have so much experience under your belt, you're a mentor for those in real estate, those new coming in to their into the industry, can work under your helm, learn all the nuggets.
I'm a big believer.
Yeah, and get them to the right spot. Maybe tell them a little bit about that, and then I've got a question to close this out.
Okay, I will do that. And I also just want to make sure that anybody who pursues anything, and it probably took me a little longer, but everything you undertake, you have to want to commit 10,000 hours to. I think that's what maybe John Lennon said, or maybe he stole it from somebody. But, you know, what you do and learning and becoming skilled at what you do takes at least 10, I would say at least 10,000 hours. If I counted my hours, I was a little slower, and it probably took me closer to 15,000. But you have to put in that time to become an expert, and to become an ownership of what you do, and to become a real professional. And I teach mentors. I mentor many new agents. It's something that I do that I just quite like. It's really about our industry, and it's really about, making, helping others become, trusted fiduciaries, advisors, and professional real estate people. Yes, we are sales associates, but what we're selling is something very, very valuable. And once you understand that value and what you can bring to your clients and your knowledge and your passion and your connection, it's a very, very valuable skill set.
Yeah. I mean, great nuggets. The 10,000, I might steal that one from you. I like that. 10,000.
Oh, I thought I stole it. I mean, I thought I stole it from somebody, so please feel free to steal it. John Lennon may have taken credit for it, but he stole it from somebody. I promise you, you have to put in the time.
Napoleon Hill or something. It's probably somebody.
Well, it started with
in a book.
Or with Sir Isaac Newton, who studied, who studied numbers. Scientists figured it. I mean, a scientist probably could have told you exactly how many hours, is required to know a subject thoroughly and become the subject.
Go ahead and go Google that. Go see if it's true. send
right.
the listener
I'm going to find out who
Google
actually said this.
I know. Maybe we can add it in the description or something, or we'll have them search. I think that's better. I
am going to send you I am going to Google this one, so I'm going to find out who was the first one who said it, and it's probably going to come up anonymous. Somebody sitting around a campfire.
Right, of course. And if we could go back, I just want to know if you could go back in time when you started, and it could be the very, very beginning of your real estate career, or maybe even the beginning of your entertainment, since you said they tie together. What do you wish you would have known that you know now? I know it's a tough question.
I mean, Amanda, yeah.
That
is an extremely, and I don't even want to give you the answer, okay? I don't even want to give you the answer because that would be very much too personal. But the journey has been very, very interesting. The journey is, I guess, you're catching me right from coming off a conversation and a podcast about fear. Okay.
Yeah.
About the essence, and what I told him, you couldn't steal it because I can even tell you who the person I stole this from. You work every day, or you live every day with faith, not fear. Okay. And it really applies to our business. We must practice and work our business with, unyielding faith. And not fear, not a hint of fear. Okay, so that's, if I had known that, I would have, and as I say, I mean, I would have liked to have known this in my 20s. I would have liked to have owned who I am in my 20s and not wait till, post midlife. So, and I see my children. It goes back with my children. One of my children is so gifted. I mean, every day I tell him, my family never told me that what I tell him. You have to do what you do. That's what you have to do. You have a gift, and that's what you have to do, and that's what he does. He's not searching. He's not finding a journey. He is already in the journey. He's been in the journey since he was 3 years old.
Wow.
It's a wild thing, you know, but he doesn't. If he didn't have somebody telling him that, he wouldn't know that. He would have to go a lifetime to know that.
Yeah.
But he does appreciate, he does understand that I never compromised him. You know, I never made him fit into the bell curve. I never made him fit into what the norm was. All he had to fit into is who he was.
Yeah.
I didn't have that luxury. My journey was one that was absolutely without any knowledge of that, anything about what my gifts were, what I owned, what I should, you know, value and treasure and own and talk about, and like I do now. I mean, don't you hear how I own what I do, who I am?
Yeah. I love it. And I mean, even sharing today, what you've shared today, you will condense a bunch of time for those that are listening that are in that spot of maybe you are fearful, and maybe just that statement to work in faith, not say it again, faith, not fear. Work in faith, not fear. Yeah. Oh, that's just a huge concept, but it makes the journey. If you're living in fear, that shift to faith and owning it and sitting in it. We always say passion greater than fear. Like if your passion is greater than your fear, you'll push through. And I think there's something very special about the faith part that sometimes we forget. And sometimes you may not be passionate about it because you're just not at that moment, but you can have faith that you can get through and you can, you know, make it through that next step, make it through that next shift. So thank you for sharing that. That's a huge. You're welcome. I just want to say one other thing, which is even a huger takeaway, because the human condition is, let's call it, you know, the intellectual human condition is about 5,500 years old, probably a little bit longer than that. It's certainly, I think it's much, much more than that. It's much longer than that. But, you know, I'm not like what is it called, you know, religious man as much as I'm a spiritual person, you know, and that's very fundamentally important. But the Psalm of David, you know, the Lord is my shepherd, you know, you realize fear is you got to take fear out of the picture. It's all written there in that one Psalm 23. So, you know, if you ever need to be reminded about the basics, that is about as basic as it gets. And, you know, it's... Yeah. And I think most religions are... Yeah, well, most religions are based on the same thing, because the higher power. So if that's what, you know, the higher power is within you, but wherever you find it, you know, faith is very important. Faith and belief in yourself is extremely important. 100%. But it takes work. It doesn't just come. You have to do things. You have to actually do certain things. You have to listen to podcasts. You have to be interested in such things. You have to be interested in diet, faith, meditation, sleep. Funny how sleep, by the way, is one of the essential ones, because our culture doesn't promote sleeping. As a matter of fact, there is thinking that you party all night and you get up in the morning, and, you know, the strongest guys are the guys, you know, who are up, the early bird catching the worm, and, you know, the sleep component is never a part of it. But the truth, if I had to learn this early on, is get your sleep. Get real sleep and forget it. And what it's called, sleep, like mindfulness, you need to get sleepfulness. Yeah. And there's a whole process in that, and it's extremely important, right? You establish very strong sleeping habits.
very strong sleeping habits, and that doesn't include, Nitol or melatonin or anything. Again, it's real pure sleep, and shut your mind off for 6 to 8 hours. Absolutely, because one thing guarantee is the same problems that are keeping you up at night. I promise when you wake up, they'll still be there, so you can think about them all day long. Okay?
Yeah.
But turn them off at night. Seriously, turn them off at night, and get your rest.
Thank you.
But but seriously. Yeah, but it's basic, but it's absolutely 100% true. And by the way, some of the things that keep you up at night that return in the morning, they're nothing like you thought they would be. Often that's the case, worrying about stuff, and you walk in and it's totally different than what you even had any idea, for good or for bad. I mean, but bad is just more challenging than good. Good was the answer you were expecting. Bad was, she's a curveball you weren't. But there's still, you just have to deal with both, So.
And those are all growth opportunities. And as I like to say, those challenges and those, quote unquote bad things are what's going to help us grow the most. And it's,
totally.
And if you don't work through it, guess what? It's going to come back.
That's right. It's going to be in your journey. So enjoy it, embrace it. It will be in your journey in some way, shape, or form. So, deal with it.
Absolutely. Well, it's been such a pleasure. Always incredible to speak with you and to share. And I'm definitely looking forward to this touching many, many people's lives, and may they reach out to you. And for those that are listening that maybe don't have a chance to see the description of the show, can you tell them where to find you, Michael? I know you mentioned it during the podcast, but maybe give them the website and the best way to contact you.
Well, it's called thebiggeststageintheworld.com or michaelhyatthomes.com or hyatthomes.us. All you have to remember, though, is it's HIATT, and not like the hotel. This is Hyatt Homes, but we still have the same great touch of Hyatt. I stole all their stationery.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. Those nuggets.
We always have such a good time together, Amanda. It's always.
I know, such a pleasure. Thank you.
But you're that way with everybody, Amanda. Anyway.
Well,
literally, you're just a very inspired person, and you bring such sort of inspiration and empowerment to people. So I hope they enjoy this podcast as much as I did. And thank you for letting me participate.
Absolutely. It was such a pleasure. And for all those listening, keep on the move.